A child's pose. Sinking your hips towards your heels, knees are wide. Bringing your fingertips to the top of your mat, passing the crown of your head. Releasing your forehead to the floor, maybe to a block if that's more comfortable for you. Focusing here on your breathing. That block. Stretching your fingertips long. Opposite direction, pressing your hips toward your heels. Focusing here on your breathing, deep inhales through your nose, strong exhales through your mouth. Feeling all the way to the top. Deep exhale through your mouth. Once more, just like this, deep inhale through your nose, strong exhale through your mouth. Now starting to seal your lips, breathing in and out through your nose. Same movement, deep inhale through your nose. Bring your lungs all the way to the top. Hold it for a breath. And exhale through your nose. Same thing 2 more times, breathing in and out through your nose. Keep it going. Actively stretching your fingertips long in the opposite direction. Maybe moving your forehead from side to side. Option to tempt your fingers, lifting your palms off of the floor, pressing your finger pads into the floor. Feeling that stretch all through your forearms, up through your shoulders. Releasing your palms back to the floor. Bending your elbows, bringing your palms to touch, thumbs to the nape of your neck. Nice tricep stretch here. If you'd like, you can gently walk your elbows towards the crown of your head. Still focusing on that breathing in and out through your nose. And then releasing your palms back to the floor. Walking your hands over to the left side of your mat. Keeping your right hand on the floor. Releasing your left hand, binding it around the right side of your hip. Letting that stretch all along the right side body. Actively pressing your right hip down towards your right heel. Releasing your left hand to meet the right. Walking your hands over to the right side of your mat. Stretching your left fingertips long. Releasing your right hand, binding it behind your back. Over towards your left hip, palm facing up. Actively pressing your left hip in towards your left heel. And simultaneously reaching your left fingertips further away. Go ahead and reach your right arm back to meet the left. Walk your hands back to the center. Go ahead and walk your hands in towards your knees. Draw your knees together, coming into a kneeling position. Rolling up nice and slowly. Shoulders stacking over your hips. Keep your arms up high overhead. Arms come up nice and tall. Go ahead and cactus your arms. Gaze is lifted. Spread your fingertips nice and wide. So that 3 more times. Gaze comes forward, arms are up, inhale. Exhale as you bend the elbows, fingertips spread nice and wide. 2 more times. Through gaze comes forward, arms come up high overhead. Cactus the arms for the fingertips even wider. Chest is broad, broaden your collarbones. Once more through, gaze comes forward, arms come up high overhead. Draw the elbows down, chest is lifted. And then bringing your gaze back to center, arms come up high overhead. Release your arms down by your side with your right hand on the floor or to a block. Bringing that earth closer to you. Sweep your left arm up, left bicep towards your left ear. Hinge over that right side. Bend the left elbow, cactus that arm. Extend your left arm long, bicep to ear. Reach that left arm down towards the floor or towards the block. Draw it around in front. And then bringing your left hand to the floor. You can also place it underneath the block if that's more comfortable for you. Draw your right arm up towards the ceiling, right bicep towards your right ear. Bend your elbow, cactus the arm. Once more through on each side. Reach that right arm far overhead. Maybe bringing that right pinky towards the block, towards the floor, or just extending it long. Exhale as you draw that arm down in front. Right hand comes down to the floor, left arm goes up high overhead, bicep to ear. Bend the elbow, cactus that arm. Extend. Draw that left arm down. Draw it across in front. Left hand comes back down to the floor. Right arm to right bicep. Bend the elbow. Draw that left arm, that right arm to make the left. Then arms come back. We're going to walk ourselves out to a tabletop position, stacking your shoulders on top of your wrists, knees under your hips. Go ahead and tuck your toes. Bring your gaze up, hammock your belly down, coming into cow. Relax your toes, scoop and arch, rounding your spine up towards the ceiling. Gazes towards the top of your thighs or your navel. Coming back through neutral spine, tuck your toes. Inhale as you hammock your belly down towards the floor. Untuck your toes, scoop and arch, rounding your spine for cat. One more time through inhale, tuck your toes. Gazing up even further. Relax your toes, scoop and arch, rounding your spine. And then come back to neutral spine, nice flat back. You can have your toes tucked or relaxed, whatever is more comfortable for you. Maybe moving your hips side to side. Any organic movement that feels good to you this morning. Maybe drawing a few hip circles here, warming up your hips. Of course, reversing that direction. Coming back, binding your neutral spine back in the middle. We're going to lift that right knee, keep that knee bent. Draw a few hip circles here with your right knee, down and around, and then reversing that direction. Go ahead and release that right knee back, meet the left. Lift the left knee, keeping the left knee bent. Drawing a few hip circles here with your left knee, and then reversing that direction. Releasing your left knee back to meet the right. Go ahead and tuck your toes, bring your hands a palm print forward, and lift your hips up, coming into our first downward facing dog this morning. Biceps, frame your ears. Maybe pedal your heel, lifting and lowering one at a time. Here on your breath. Maybe lifting and lowering both heels at the same time. Maybe bend and extend to both of your knees. Go ahead and lift both of your heels super high. Lower them over to the right side. Feeling that nice deep stretch all along the right side body. And then lifting your heels, lowering them over to the left side. Feeling that stretch all along the left side body. Lift your toes once more. Maybe pedal them. Gazing, looking under your right arm. Deep bend that right knee. Keep the left leg straight. And then switch. Gaze under your left arm. Keep the left knee bent. Right leg is straight. Pedal the heels once more. With a soft bend in both of your knees, gently and slowly walk your hands towards your toes. Having a generous bend in both of your knees, letting your neck hang nice and loose. Come to a half lift, hands to shins, flat back, fold forward. Maybe bring your hands towards the floor, maybe towards a block. You can also grab opposite elbows and sway side to side in a ragdoll. Everything loose. Letting your neck hang nice and loose. Maybe shake your head yes. Maybe shake your head no. and breathing. Go ahead and release your hands back to the floor or towards a block. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right ankle or block. Deep bend into your left knee. Bring your right arm up high overhead. Gaze can be up or down. And then releasing your right hand to meet the left. Have a deep bend in your right hand, switching sides, right hand to the outside of your left ankle or towards the block. Left arm comes up high overhead. Gaze can be up or down. Release your left hand to meet the right. Maybe pedal your heels once more. Right, with a deep bend in both of your knees, we're going to walk our hands back out to our downward facing dog. So don't come all the way to a plank. And then straighten the legs, lift the heels. We're going to bend the knees coming into a power dog, keeping your hips lifted. And then press back up, downward facing dog. Let's do that a few more times here. Bend the knees coming into power dog. Hips stay lifted. Keeping your hips pressed back. Lift up, straighten the knees. Once more through, bend the knees. This time we're going to come through, pressing into high plank. Always an option to come down onto your knees if you like. We're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down for 4, 3, elbows stay tucked in, 2, and 1. Releasing all the way down. Top shoelace portion of your toes, release down to the floor. Wrists under your shoulders, pressing up for mini cobra. Elbows stay tucked into your rib cage. Releasing down. One more mini cobra here, pressing up through your palms. Releasing back down. Keep your left hand under your left shoulder. Extend your right arm long out directly from your right shoulder. Your right toes are relaxed. Lift your left leg up and over the outside of your right hip. Your left knee is up towards the ceiling. You can rest your right ear or right cheek to the floor. This is a great hip opener and shoulder stretch. You can also extend that left leg. Maybe point, flex, circle out the left ankle. That left knee, if you had it straightened, roll back onto your stomach. Both legs are flat. Release your right hand on your right shoulder. Press up for a mini cobra. Release down. Now extend your left arm directly out from your left shoulder, keeping your right wrist under your right shoulder. Left toes are relaxed. Lift your right leg, lift it up and over the outside of your left hip. Maybe keeping that knee bent. You can also extend that leg up towards the ceiling. Maybe point, flex, or circle out that ankle. Maybe just releasing your left ear or cheek on the floor. Have that right leg straight and go ahead and bend it back down. Rolling back onto your stomach. With both wrists under your shoulders. Pressing up for mini cobra. Releasing down. Once more, pressing up. Maybe release your palms. Maybe lift your toes. Hold here for 3. 1. Release the tops of your toes. Release your palms. Option to walk your hands back under your rib cage, pressing up, full cobra. Gazing, looking over your left shoulder. Up towards the ceiling. Over your right shoulder. Up towards the ceiling. Gaze comes forward. Tuck your toes, coming through tabletop or pressing up, downward facing dog. And back to pedal your heels. All right, from here, we're going to come into more of our flow, still pedaling your heels. We're going to lift that right leg up, come into 3-legged dog. Keep your hips parallel. Keep your left heel lower towards the floor, right toes are flexed. We're going to draw our right knee towards our right elbow. Kick it back. Knee to nose. Back. Knee to left elbow. Option to hold for 3, 2, and 1. Kick it back. Step your right foot between your palms, coming into low lunge. Option to hold it here. You can release your left knee towards the floor or on a block. We're going to keep the left hand to the inside of our right foot. Right arm comes up high towards the ceiling. Gaze again can be up or down. Maybe circling your wrist. Maybe circling your shoulder forwards. And back. With your right arm up towards the ceiling, we're going to tap that left wrist for 3. Reach up. And 2. Once more. Right hand taps the left wrist. Reach the right arm back up towards the ceiling. Release your right hand down towards the floor, bringing your right foot. Gently walk your right toes over to the outside of your right wrist. Your right foot is about 3 o'clock, opening up that hip. Few options here, coming into lizard. You can straighten that right leg, flex the right toes, pressing your hips back. You can bend forward, opening up that right hip. You can move between the 2 poses. You can keep your hips forward. You can bring your forearms down to the floor. You can also place your forearms on a block to bring that earth closer to you. Your hips a little bit more. In any of those positions, you can roll your hips side to side. Bringing your left wrist under your left shoulder, placing your right hand to the inside of your right knee and very gently pressing that right knee open, looking over your right shoulder. Releasing your right hand down, maybe straightening that right leg once more, pressing forward, press back. Once more, press forward, deep bend into that knee. We're going to tuck the left toes, lift that right leg up, and then step it back down to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels. And we have the same thing on the left side. Lift the left leg high up towards the ceiling, lower that right heel, keep your left toes flexed. Draw the left knee to the left elbow. Take it straight back. Left knee to nose. Take it back. Left knee to right elbow. Option to hold or lower that left knee for 3, 2, and 1. Kick the left leg back. Step it straight through in between your palms. Option to keep that back right knee lifted. You can also lower it down to the floor or a block and untuck your toes. Keeping the right hand to the inside of your left foot. Left arm comes up high overhead. Maybe circling out that wrist. Maybe circle out the shoulder forwards and backwards. We're going to draw that left hand down towards the right wrist for 3. And lift it up. 2 more. Tap down. Lift up once more. Go ahead and draw that left hand to the outside of your left ankle. From here, walk your left ankle to the outside of your left wrist, bringing your toes to about 10 o'clock, so turn slightly outwards. Few options here, similar to what we did on the right side. Option to bend deeper into that left hip. You can also press your hips back, straighten that left leg, flexing your toes. Maybe moving between the 2. Option to come down to the floor or bring your wrists blocks, holding and breathing. And moving your hips side to side. And then pressing your right wrist underneath your right shoulder. Gently bring your left hand to the inside of your left knee, looking over your left shoulder for a nice deep stretch. Your left hand back down. Excuse me. Press your hips back, flex the left toes. Press it forward. Once more through, press the hips back, flex the left toes. Go ahead and press the hips forward, tuck your right toes, both palms press firmly into the floor. Lift your left leg up high, and then set the left knee down. Back to our downward facing dog, pedal your heels. All right, go ahead and lift your right leg high to the ceiling. Step through, coming into high crescent. Inhale, arms come up high overhead. Go ahead and hinge forward, arms sweep back. Lift up, inhale, arms come up high overhead. Exhale as you hinge forward. One more time through, inhale, arms come up high overhead. And exhale. Last time, arms come up high overhead. As you exhale, pivot your left toes, find your warrior two, deep bend in your right knee, gazing over your right fingertips spread nice and long. We're going to straighten that right leg, draw your arms up high overhead, and deep bend back to warrior two. Two more times. Straighten that right leg, arms are high, deep bend. Once more, this time find that deepest bend, your warrior two, holding and breathing. And come into a side angle, right hand to your right knee, left arm comes up high overhead. Really lengthen those left fingertips, left bicep to your left ear. And reverse your warrior, tuck your left hand behind your back, right arm comes up high overhead. One more time through extended side angle, this time maybe extending your right arm. You can extend it forward or directly out over your shoulder. And then reverse your warrior. Left hand behind your back, look down your left leg. Coming back, find your warrior two. Go ahead and straighten that right leg. Bump the hips back. Extend the arms. Tick-tock the hands coming in the triangle. You can bring your right hand towards the floor. You can hover in space. You can also bring it to a block. Left arm comes up high overhead. Maybe rotating that left shoulder open. Gaze can be up to challenge your balance. You could also bring your gaze down. Coming up, reversing your triangle. Tuck your left hand behind your back, right arm comes up high overhead. Once more through triangle. Tick-tock the hips, right arm down, left arm up. Maybe getting deeper this time. And reverse. Then cartwheel down, bringing your right foot. Step your right foot back, or keep your right foot lifted, come down to your flow, release down, mini cobra, release down, walk your hands back, full cobra. Tuck your toes, lifting up, downward facing dog. Catch your breath, pedal your heels. Right heel pressing towards the floor, lift your left leg high to the ceiling, step through, coming into high crescent. Inhale as your arms come up high, shoulders stacked over your hips, deep bend your front left knee, hinge forward, airplane your arms back, lift up, two more, hinge forward, arms sweep back, your legs are completely still, arms come up, once more. Inhale. Exhale as you open to warrior two, pivot the right toes, keeping that deep bend in your front left leg. Really extend your fingertips nice and long, gazes over your left fingertips. Gazing down, looking over your left knee, seeing your big toe. We're going to straighten that left leg, reach your arms up high overhead. Deep bend that left knee. Two more. Lift up. Bending deeper into that knee each time. Third and final time. Get even deeper. Deepen that left knee. Open up your hips, open up your shoulders. Into extended side angle, right arm comes up high overhead. Left hand can be to your left thigh or down towards the floor. Holding and breathing. Go ahead and reverse your warrior. Tuck your right hand behind your back or down your right leg. Left arm comes up high overhead. Raises up. Come back to extended side angle. Maybe challenge yourself this time and extend that left arm. Maybe extend it forward. Reverse the warrior. Find your warrior two. Straighten that left leg. Bump your hips back. Extend your arms forward and tick-tock your arms. Left hand down towards the floor or a block. Right arm comes up high overhead. Maybe challenge your balance, looking up to your right fingertips. Maybe rotating that right shoulder further open. Spiraling your chest open. Coming through, reversing your triangle. Right hand behind your back or down your right leg. Coming back through your triangle. Very nice. Reverse your triangle. And then cartwheel your hands down, bringing your left foot, step your left leg back, finding your flow. You can hover that left leg or release it down to the floor, gently lowering down for 3, 2, and 1. Pressing up, mini cobra, release down. Once more. All the way up, come back, find your downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time through, moving breath to movement. So we'll take out those holds. Lift your right leg high to the ceiling, step through high crescent. Inhale as you rise up, arms up high overhead. Exhale as you hinge forward. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale to rise. Once more, exhale to hinge forward. Inhale to rise. Exhale, pivot to warrior two. Straighten just 2 times here. And exhale. And straighten. Deeper bend that warrior two. Pivot to extend the side angle. Reverse your warrior. One more time through. Maybe change the arms. Reverse. Come back, find your warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Bump your hips. Extend your arms. Tick-tock your hands. Spiral your chest open. Challenge yourself. And then reverse. One more time through. Coming to triangle. Reach the fingertips long in opposite directions. And reverse. Cartwheel down, framing your right foot. Coming through your flow. Lowering down slowly for 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way up through high cobra. Press back, downward facing dog, out of the heels. Lift the left leg high to ceiling. Step through high crescent. Inhale as you rise. Exhale as you airplane the arms back, hinging forward. Inhale to rise, 2 more. Exhale, airplane back. Last one. Inhale as you stack the hips, stacking the shoulders. Open to warrior two. Inhale to rise. Exhale, warrior two. Once more, inhale to rise. Exhale, warrior two. Extended side angle. And reverse. Once more through extended side angle. Maybe change the arms. And reverse. Find your warrior two. Straighten your front left leg. Bump your hips. Extend your arms. Tick-tock your hands. Spiral your chest open. And reverse. left hand down, right arm up, and reverse. Cartwheel your hands down, fling your left foot, extend your left leg back, come to your flow. Full cobra. Pressing up, downward facing dog. Hold it here. Lift the right leg high to the ceiling. Draw your right knee to your right elbow. Take it back. Right in the nose. Take it back. Right knee to left elbow. Option to hold it here. You can kick it through, coming to falling triangle and lifting your left arm high to the ceiling. We're going to add some movement here. We're going to tap the hips down and lift once more. Down and lift. Hold the hips down. We're going to rotate the arm, left hand back behind your left hip. Press up. Release down. Cartwheel your hands back to the front. Coming up. Tuck your right knee in towards your nose. Kick it back. Bend your right knee, open up your right hip. Maybe point and flex, circle out that right ankle. Maybe draw some circles, similar to what we did in tabletop. And come into pigeon, drawing your right knee behind your right wrist. Untucking your left toes. Options here. You can walk your hands back by your hips. Hinging backwards. Opening up your chest. You can also fold forward. Maybe bringing your forehead or your chest to the floor or to blocks. Find that deep stretch in your right hip. If you'd like to bind the hands, keep your left arm high up, sweep it under and through the right side body. Maybe placing your left ear or cheek to the floor. You can extend that right arm long. You can also bind it around towards your left waist. And then releasing your right hand back to the floor if you have it binded. Pressing up, both hands on the floor. Lift your right leg high to the ceiling. Few options here. You can bend that right knee again. You can come in a wild thing, releasing that right foot to the outside of your left. Pressing your hips forward, extend your right arm long. And then coming back, finding your downward facing dog. Pelvic heels. Lift the left leg high to the ceiling. Bend your left knee, opening up your left hip. Maybe circle out your left ankle, point and flex. Maybe circle out your hip. Of course, reversing that direction. Draw your left knee to your left elbow. Take it back. Left knee to nose. Take it back. Left knee to right elbow. Option to hold it here. You can also extend that right leg, lifting your arm up high towards the ceiling, coming to falling triangle. We're going to lower and lift for 2. And lift. Once more. All right, lower the hips down. No limit on space. Bring your right hand behind your right hip. Lift your hips up. Left arm comes up high toward the ceiling. Release your hips back down. Cartwheel your hands back to the front. Lift your hips up. Coming back to three-legged dog. And then bend your left knee. Coming into pigeon, drawing the left knee to the outside of your left wrist. Untucking your right toes. Maybe drawing that right leg away from your body. Few options here. You can hinge forward. You can also walk your hands back to the center, opening up your chest. Just to walk down forward, you can place your forehead or your chin on the floor or onto blocks. Maybe rolling side to side. If you'd like to try that bind with your hands, draw your right elbow up towards the ceiling and then draw it up and under the left side body, bringing your right ear or your right cheek to the floor. You can extend your left arm long out in front past the crown of your head. You can also bind that left hand around the back towards your right, getting tongue-tied here this morning, towards your right waist. All that turkey's getting to me. Just holding and breathing. Release your left hand if you haven't bind yet. Pressing both hands onto the floor. Lifting your left leg up. Bend that left knee if you'd like. You can flip your dog, coming in a wild thing, cross your hips, left hand extends. And back, find your downward facing dog. Elbow your heels. Then release your knees, drilling down to the floor. And then finally in your child's pose, back to where we started. Stretching your fingertips out long. Maybe lower your head side to side. Get sinking towards your heels. Fingertips actively stretching past the crown of your head. Holding and breathing. Go ahead and press yourself up, find your tabletop position. Shoulders stacked on top of your wrist. Knees under your hips, reach your right arm high towards the ceiling. Draw it up and under through the left side body. Once more. Right arm comes up high, opening up the chest. Right arm comes under the left side body, hovering and holding. Draw the right hand further and release your right ear or cheek to the floor. You can extend that left arm long. You can extend that left leg. You can lift it if you like for an active stretch. Release everything back down. Left hand to your left shoulder, right arm comes up high overhead. Release your right hand to the floor. Left arm comes up high, opening up your chest. Draw it under and through the right side body. Once more, left arm comes up high overhead. Exhale to draw it under and through, hovering and holding. Reach it further and then release it down to the floor, releasing your left ear or cheek. You can extend that right hand long. You can also extend that right leg long. Option to lift it. Where you're at, breathing 2 more breaths here. Release everything down, right hand to be high lifted, right hand to your right shoulder, left arm comes up high overhead, and release it back down. Go ahead and draw your hips to the left or right, coming laying onto your back. Roll all the way back, slow and controlled for 3, 2, and 1. Draw your arms and legs up towards the ceiling, legs at the wall. Point and flex. Maybe circle out your wrists, your ankles, everything moving for the last 45 minutes. Bend your knees, grabbing the outsides of the soles of your feet. You can also grab the back side of your thighs, keeping your lower back pressed firmly into the floor for happy baby. Option to roll side to side. You can come into ninja baby by extending one leg, keeping one leg tucked in. And of course, switching sides. You can extend both legs. You can draw the soles of the feet together. Whatever stretch feels good for you. Draw your knees in towards one another. Keep your right knee in towards your right shoulder, clasping beneath your knee. Extend your left leg long. Right knee draws up towards your right shoulder. Option to hold here if you'd like a more active stretch. Tuck your chin to your chest, lift your shoulders, hover your left leg, flex your left toes. Point and flex, circle out your right ankle. Flex your shoulders in your left leg. With your left hand, grab the outside of your right knee, draw it across the left side of your body, gazing, looking over your right shoulder. Without forcing it, you can extend your right arm long. You can cactus that arm. I barely ever does yoga with me, so it's kind of surprising she's in here. Holding and breathing. Coming back to the middle, drawing that right knee back in towards your right shoulder. And switch, left knee to left shoulder, right leg long. And switch. Once more. This time, hold the left knee in towards the left shoulder, right leg extends long. You're more than welcome to hold it here. If you'd like that active stretch, do it on the other side. Tuck your chin to your chest, hover your shoulders, hover that right leg, flex your right toes. You point, flex, circle out that left ankle. Your right leg and shoulders, if you have them lifted. With your right hand, grab the outside of your left knee, draw it across the right side of your body. Gazing, looking over your left shoulder. Maybe extend your left arm long. Maybe cactus that left arm, palm facing up. And then coming back to the middle, keeping your left knee tucked in towards your left shoulder. And switch, right knee to right shoulder, left leg long. And switch. They're taking turns this morning. Keep both knees in towards your chest. Maybe roll side to side. Right, with your knees tucked into your chest, we're going to rock and roll ourselves a few times like a ball. Avoid tapping your toes or using your core. Once you come to that seated position, maybe hover and hold. Maybe do one more. All right, hovering and holding. Option to keep your knees bent. You can also extend your legs straight, extend your arms towards your toes. Holding and breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and cross your ankles. Come and find a seated position. You can cross your ankles in either direction, right or left or right. You can bring the soles of your feet together for butterfly. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe closing your eyes. You can bring your palms facing up on top of your knees. You can also bring your hands to heart center. Deep inhale, filling your lungs. This time exhaling through your mouth. Thank yourself for showing up to your mat today, the day after Thanksgiving. I thank you all so very much. It's always a delight to share my practice with you. Namaste. Thank you all so very much. Happy Friday.